What's up, y'all? We made it. Yes, it is the week. It is here. It is Christmas. Santa is going to shove his fat ass down the chimney and spread it with gifts, eat cookies, leave reindeer poop. Ah, man, this was the best time of year when I was a kid, right? Coming from an Italian family, spoiled rotten with gifts, so to speak. Family, food. I mean, to all of you out there, hey, enjoy, right? Just embrace the family that's around. Don't concern yourself with so-and-so doesn't get along with so-and-so. Just let all that shit go and just relish in the fact that we're above ground, not below, and we get to share these amazing times with family and the ones we love. So that was the first thing. Enjoy and Merry Christmas. So let's dive in. Welcome to Weeds Weekly, where I, Kevin Weedmark, just discuss with you what happened this past week, what we have up and coming for this short week, right? We're also going to talk about staying alert as we're coming to the year end. And lastly, more choices ahead. So what happened this past week? The biggest thing, obviously, and it's been all over the news, is the Fed. The Fed came out. We all knew that they were going to reduce the Fed funds rate 1/4 point. Traders told us that at the last Fed meeting. The biggest thing was the vernacular. What was the Fed going to say? What was the dot plot going to show us? And unfortunately, that came out on the negative side for us in the real estate market. Fed went from potentially 4 cuts in 2025 to now expected 2. The big underlying thing that I saw was really the hesitation by the Fed. They want to be much more cautious. The other thing is I think it now allows them to really pause. I think there's a little bit of conflict with the current administration coming in and with Chairman Powell, and there's a little bit of headbutting there. And I think why they did that reduction was so they could get a little bit ahead of it so that they don't need to feel the pressure from the incoming administration. I thought they should have paused, but I really think once again, they are getting a little bit political when they're telling us first and foremost, they're not. So that was the biggest thing that we saw. So what we would really like to see is for Chairman Powell just to be quiet. Just do the Fed policy. And again, as I said last time, do we even really need them? Traders know where we're going before the Fed even says anything. So again, it's one of those things that I really think we got to keep our eye on because I think it's going to get a little bit more political as we head into 2025. The one good piece of news that we did see is demand is there. Existing home sales actually beat forecasts. It once again proved that any slight dip, any time of the year, we do have buyers out there that are willing to step up. Doesn't matter what the interest rates are, doesn't matter if it's a slight dip, doesn't matter what the economic outlook is. We just have pent up demand. So the nice thing heading into 2025 is we do have that as a tailwind. So what do we have coming this week? I think a lot of sideways. We really do not have any significant data coming out this week, other than I think we really want to pay attention to Thursday. Thursday, we have initial jobless claims, although inflation is obviously the biggest elephant in the room. And with the Fed, with the incoming administration, and with long-term inflation, and what the Fed just said, it seems like jobs kind of has been sidestepped, and it's been sidestepped simply because it's been coming in at forecast. But it is something that could have the potential to move the markets because, again, you're going to have a lot less traders that are active, which means there can be very volatile moves in the marketplace by a very few members, by very few dollars, by very few traders. So we just want to make sure that we keep an eye on that. Which leads me to my last thing, is stay alert. So if you have a client that is kind of on the fence or they have a home under contract and they need to lock and they're going to be closing the first, second week of January, you really want them to stay alert during the holidays. A lot of traders, as year-end approaches, make moves. They want to get liquid because they're leaving. They need to make some allocation changes to their funds. They want to get more heavy into treasuries as they're moving into next year. They need to take some gains off the table. They want to hedge for, capital gains taxes that they made. There's a slew of reasons why moves are going to be made. And literally, we're looking at 4.5 days. We got today, we got a half a day tomorrow, you got Thursday, you got Friday, you got Monday, and then another half day. Given that those holidays fall on that midweek, we really want to make sure that we stay alert. We do not want to see any potential deals fall apart because maybe your lender's out on vacation your client can't get a hold of them, or your client is actually, they're getting hopped up on eggnog or whatever the case may be, or family members are coming in from out of town and it's not on top of their mind, but it needs to be on top of our minds. So if you need anything, I'm going to be working. You just need a status update of what's going on with interest rates. I would just be really cautious, and I would be more on the cautious of the upside. I think that right now we have the potential to see a 10-year Treasury yield of about 4.7 as the ceiling. We have not seen that. It's been a long time since we've seen that. I want to say it's more likely towards last year. I'd have to look that up just to make sure, and I could probably do that any moment. But anyway, I think the ceiling still has reason to move now. So we're sitting at about 4.5. I think that we just want to be really cautious, because the last thing, again, what we want to see is a deal fall apart here through the holidays, because we're just not paying attention. We're buying gifts, we're out shopping, we have so many other things on our mind. So we need to be the professional and make sure that we're on top of that for our clients. And then lastly, more choices ahead. As always, I'm trying to think outside the box, trying to think of ways or what is going to be coming down the pipeline. And the biggest thing is everyone expects inventory to increase in 2025. The pent-up demand has been there, like we talked about now, for a little bit. It's been a couple of years where we're out of this pandemic. And I think what we're going to see is as we're coming out into 2025, when we get through the month of January, through pretty much all of February, we're really going to start seeing inventory pick up in March timeline. It doesn't matter where you are across the country. That's pretty good. It's a pretty good time of year for a lot of people that just want to get back into the game, right? We're getting the thaw out. Winter is kind of getting behind us. At least we're through the thick of it, and we're just trying to get ahead, and we want to get our house on the market. So in anticipation of that, I thought of just two quick ways. Number one is, although at times the MLS is our worst nightmare, right? Because it can get all, janky with all the changes and all the updates they have and everything like that. For me, it's my best friend. And I've used it now for years, and I don't know if it's a trick or not. I'm sure several agents use it, but I use it as a tool. I literally probably get about 25 to 35 emails daily to myself, given certain zip codes, given certain square footage of a home, given certain map neighborhoods that I have. And what I'm doing is I'm educating myself so that I can see any quick changes that are to the market in areas that I'm covering, or in areas that are specific to potential clients that are coming, or areas that are specific to clients that I have now, so that I can see these changes and know I'm not adding them to my client as well. These are for me. These are so that I stay knowledgeable. So then if I see anything quick, I can pick up the phone and I can make a quick touch. I can let a client know that, hey, it looks like inventory has been increasing in this particular area. There's more houses for sale. It looks like the price point has come down, so on and so forth. It just allows us to be very on the street, so to speak, and really very localized in that particular market. And I would highly suggest you set those up through the holidays in anticipation that inventory is going to be increasing, because we know our clients are going to say, is now a good time to sell? And our buyers are going to say, is now a good time to make an offer, or do we see prices coming down? And we want to make sure we have answers. On another note, the other thing I thought of was to make offers. The best way to test the market is to make offers. There's no doubt about it. And again, it could be, I hear a lot of clients always say, well, I don't want to insult them. I don't want to insult the seller. Look, there's no such thing, in my opinion, as insulting anybody. That's a personal level thing that you're anticipating yourself. The fact that an offer was made on a house is a beautiful thing. You have somebody that's willing to sell, they're asking a price, you're putting in an offer at a certain price. And whether it's us as agents that we don't want our reputation or whatever the case may be, again, we need to put that aside, especially in a market, if you're in one across the country that's going to have increased inventory. The only way to get ahead of that and to know if prices are going to decrease, other than seeing it, like we talked about with the MLS, is you personally start writing offers for your clients. Who knows what position that seller is in? Who knows what adjustment the market is ready to make? You need to be writing offers potentially, and that's where we want to get ahead with our clients to get them ready, to get them in position like we talked about last week with pre-approvals, knowing markets, driving markets. But those were kind of my things. As we're moving into 2025, the expectation is that inventory is going to be increased, so we need to be ready with those two things. So once again, hey, Merry Christmas. I'm around. I'm working throughout the entire holiday season, so please don't hesitate to give me a call, text, or email should you need something. So that's number one. And then again, just enjoy your family, enjoy your friends, enjoy your time. Have a wonderful, happy Christmas. I hope that it's safe and you get everything you ever wanted from Santa. All right, y'all, have a great Christmas, and I will talk to you on Friday with the Friday wrap-up. And next week, my intentions are to come to you with my outlook for 2025. So it's not going to be this typical past week, whatever the case may be. We may touch on it briefly, but please tune in. I'm going to give my outlook by quarter for 2025. All right, everyone, have a great rest of the week. Cheers.